How's been your short film that you've been making with your sister?
Don't talk to me. We're not recording yet.
Oh, okay. Fuck you too.
Yeah. All right, now we're,
Oh,
now we're recording. Now you can
oh,
say what you want.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was the short film of your sister? Did you ever finish editing it?
Uh, I finished the basic assembly cut. It's like 4 minutes long now, so now I just have to do the audio design, and potentially I'll have to find a composer to make a score for it. Because I don't know if I can find music that's gonna fit what I'm looking for. I'm trying to look for like a Trent Reznor inspired kind of sound, which is like
Tool? Oh, not Tool. 9 Inch Nails. Trent
like
Reznor?
Trent. Yeah, nine inch. He's from 9 Inch Nails, but yeah, he
Yes,
composes some musical
I
scores.
know.
Kind of similar to his work in like The Social Network or The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, like a kind
Yeah.
of synthy, grimy sound. But yeah,
See if you can just steal the Quake soundtrack. Is that he did the first Quake. He did the soundtrack for it. Just steal his music from there.
yeah. There's actually a whole website where they just have like Trent Reznor type beat sounds. That's just like a entire cacophony of a bunch of different sounds that sound like his music. Um, this is boring though. Welcome back to the Pain in the Brain
Damn.
podcast, episode 30. We're here yet again, me and Jacob. Um,
Hi Matt.
hi Matt again.
Hi Matt.
Uh,
Apparently he's at some launch, but it's been raining like all fucking day. So what launch is there? Don't know.
it's a fucking lie.
Uh,
We
but pull up to him playing Rainbow Six Siege right
yeah,
now.
we call him in live on air. Uh, Matt, how's the launch going?
Yeah,
It's
it's good.
fucking raining.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. All right, guys. I'm hitting B. I'm going to plan in B. Yeah, it's going good, guys.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
about to do the launch.
yeah. It's going great.
It's going good, guys.
Um, yeah, slowly and slowly, relationships dwindling, life going on. Um,
Okay, David Lynch.
uh, but I see a sunrise at the end
I
of the
don't.
tunnel.
I think we have to stop the David Lynch stuff. Unless our views are getting better with the David Lynch impressions.
I have no
No.
idea. I fucking last time I checked, the last episode tanked. Pretty
Yeah, but
significantly.
I don't think I care. I think you do though.
I don't really give a shit. I said to myself, I was like, yeah, well, we'll get to 50 episodes,
And then we'll stop.
and then we'll stop if nothing's going on, if nothing's growing. Um. So yeah, another 20 more consecutive weeks of this podcast, and then it'll be over. So basically, at the end of the year, this will be the 2023 conclusion of the Pain in the Brain podcast at the very end of the year.
And then we'll come back next year when Matt
Yeah.
goes, I miss doing the podcast, guys.
Yeah, it'll be like Friends. You know, they just take like 3 months off for like vacation, and then they come back and they make a new season. Think of this podcast as like a season of television, except
We're your uncle. You guys occasionally see us.
yeah, you'll see us in like gatherings.
Here we are. I'm not going to say, for a podcast that no one fucking knows, I don't know.
Well, I
Is
just
20
I think what we've done is the bar has been set because of
We
those
had-
2 episodes that just exploded out of nowhere.
Is
and
that really
then-
the bar being set, or is that us just getting lucky?
Yeah, that's just us getting lucky, and because of that, now it's like, well, we're not
Now
gonna
is
get
that-
that luck ever again.
We fucked up. But if we just kept talking about Euphoria, then we probably would have been fine for a little bit.
If I gave a shit about
But-
that.
But we're not slaves to the cogs of
Right,
machines.
right. Yeah. Speaking of being slaves, I watched the Flash movie this weekend.
What? My ass thought you would never even touch that with 10-yard stick.
Oh my
Because I would
God.
never touch it.
Oh my god, it was so funny. I only watched it because I didn't pay for my ticket.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
that's good.
um,
Did your mom or a friend pay for it?
No, yeah, I went with a friend who's like a big
Okay.
comic book guy. Yeah.
You bastard.
Do you want me to talk about it? What was in
Oh, Of course, yeah, yeah, no shit. I want you to talk about it. I want to hear how dog shit it was.
So,
Now for the thumbnail, you got to put Ezra Miller with, like a gun, if you
yeah,
can, or like a water gun. I'm not sure if you're allowed to,
yeah,
but like right next to a kid, and
mm,
he's like in the Flash suit. That's
yeah.
your thumbnail.
I don't understand what all the hubbubaloo is about him. He's like a perfectly good actor. He's a good person.
Oh, he's a good person. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
That's just
Not
what.
him starting a cult
No,
or
no,
kidnapping or
no,
trespassing.
Jacob. Because here's the thing: if I want
I
to be
want
a
to be
part,
Ezra
if I
Miller.
want to be, if I want to be a part of that Hollywood social circle, right?
Yeah.
I have to act like them, which is basically, once you hear about some drama or some bad shit, you just kind of try to ignore it. Just don't even
Yeah,
like,
because
just don't draw any attention to it,
of course.
because the only person that can truly cancel you is yourself. Cancel culture
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
If you drop off the face of the earth,
Yeah.
that's on you. Nobody can do that, but you.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
no, Ezra Miller, good guy.
Good guy.
Made a
Standout guy.
yeah, made a good movie, 7 out of 10.
What
No,
movies
but
has he been in?
he was in the Harry Potter prequel
He
movies.
was?
Yeah, he was like
I don't know.
he was one of like the essential characters in that franchise. They really lucked out with him.
Ezra Miller. I'm looking
And then he
this
was
up.
in like some like coming of age early like acting stuff, whatever.
Was he the Mr. Fan? No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Was he Mr. He was Credence something. Credence, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, so basically, I'm not gonna. I guess this is a spoiler warning, but who gives a fuck? It's the Flash. This universe is dying anyway. Like they're just rebooting
Yeah.
the whole thing, so it doesn't even matter.
Wow,
Um,
66%.
yeah, but basically, so Jacob, where would you like for me to begin?
Just start at the beginning.
Okay,
dog.
so basically, it's just whatever. It's pretty like it's just the Flashpoint bullshit, except kind of removing a lot of the elements that makes Flashpoint interesting. Like a lot of people, my friend included, when we went to the theater, he was like, I want, as long as I have Reverse Flash involved in some way, I'll be fine with it. He wasn't in the movie at all.
Oh yeah, no shit.
And so I was like, you gotta understand, like, he's going into this movie. I said to him, I was like, you're going into this movie expecting
Yeah.
a good adaptation of Flashpoint. I'm going into this
Aw.
movie. I'm going into this movie just expecting to have some good old dumb fun. So basically,
Back to the shitty movie.
yeah. So basically, no, it's good.
Oh, it's good.
So
Okay.
basically, yeah. So it just starts off like 20 minutes. You get like a good setup for the film. Flash is a fucking loser. They have like an opening action sequence where the Flash saves like 10 babies falling out of a skyscraper in a hospital.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun action sequence. Flash puts a baby in a microwave.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then they actually add a sound, like a little sound at the very end of the scene where the microwave dings, and then he takes the baby out. So he just microwaved a baby, like straight up, like
Real.
He just microwaved a baby. Like
That's so awesome.
yeah.
That's so awesome of him to do that.
yeah, yeah. Ezra Miller, like that's just true to his character.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah. So then he goes and he fucking Manamers throughout the plot. His dad has a trial for killing his
Because
mom
his-
over 20 years ago because he's framed for killing his
Yeah.
mom. And they developed this like AI forensics technology that like enhanced the camera quality from like 20 years ago to see if his dad's alibi lined up with where he was. They checked the camera
Yeah.
footage, and his dad wasn't looking at the camera. They couldn't see his face, so evidently he was sent to jail. They couldn't file him not guilty. Or they,
Damn.
so Barry, frustrated with the American legal system and against own Ben Affleck Batman's wishes of being
Yeah.
like, Barry, you can't go back in time, you're a fucking idiot. He does it anyways, and they don't really set it up at all, like how he can really like do it. He just kind of just teleports randomly like 20 years into the past, which like going from Zack Snyder's Justice League where he teleported like where he set back time like 30 seconds to going to then like 20 years back in time is like a big ass
Yeah.
jump,
That's
like
awesome.
you think you'd set it up a little bit more, like maybe him going back like I don't know, 5 minutes, and then him like trying really, really hard. But no, they also do the funny. I don't know if you've seen that one clip from Thor: Love and Thunder, where the kid like pops his head out and he's got like a floating head.
Yeah.
They do that in this movie too. Ezra Miller just like
Why?
peeps his head through like time and space itself and like looks into time with that effect. Pretty funny.
What?
So basically, how Barry's mom dies in this universe is um, she's a Latina mother.
Ah.
And so she's making like a pasta and she's like, oh crap, I forgot like the other can of tomatoes I need. And so the dad's like, oh, I'll go to the store and get some tomatoes. Oh,
Go to the
I'm
store.
just the dad. And then so
Go
the
to the
dad goes to
store.
the store. His mom is left alone in the house. And then
Yeah.
right before the dad can get back home, she a burglar walks in and stabs her. And
Oh,
then
but the thing, it's the dad.
yeah, they think it's the dad, right? And so because his alibi didn't line up, whatever so they convicted him. And so
Did no one see him at the fucking store?
I guess not. So they couldn't testify. But so then Barry, instead
Yeah.
of like going and stopping the mugger or whatever or something like that, he instead is like, okay, well, if I just put the extra can of tomatoes in my mom's shopping cart when she went to the store that day, then they'll have no reason for my dad to leave because the mugger only came in because he thought my mom was defenseless and home alone. So if my dad's home and we're eating dinner together, then the mugger won't come in. So evidently that works.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, the mugger is like, you know what? I don't feel like invading this house anymore.
Yeah. So then Barry tries to go back in time, but he's stopped by this weird demon creature in the Speed Force that kicks him out to like 2013. So right as the events of Man of Steel are taking place,
Yeah.
and so Barry goes to his childhood home and sees his mom. Has like a really fucking dramatic like moment where he misses her, which I think the acting was a bit too subtle there. Also,
Hello, mama.
Ezra Miller,
Yeah.
just as an actor, just fucking annoying. He's like, it's like his level of acting. He always sounds like he's whining, like, and I don't know if that's a deliberate choice or if that's just how he actually sounds all the time. He just sounds so insufferable and fucking like every time he spoke in this movie, I wanted to fucking just punch him. And so basically, yeah, then he finds out that he exists in this universe as well alongside his 18-year-old self somehow. And then so he's like, oh shit, well, I gotta go back in time, but I forget exactly what. Oh, he doesn't want to go back in time because he's like, if I go back in time and I try to change the events, then this universe where my mom lives is gonna be gone. So he's like, okay, well, I gotta get you speed powers then because Zod is coming and we gotta defeat Zod because there's no Superman, there's no Aquaman, there's no Wonder Woman, there's no Batman, nobody exists, right? In this universe. So he's like, you gotta get speed powers. So they recreate the events of when Barry has got the speed powers, but with some wacky hijinks like in No Way Home, where Doctor Strange just completely forgets how to be a competent sorcerer. Barry loses the Prime Barry from the future, loses his powers while younger Barry gains his powers.
All right.
And so then young Barry, naive and stupid, you get the whole like thing like, oh my god, super speed is so cool, oh my god, this is amazing, like it's like goes on for like 30 minutes, and then
It goes on for 30 minutes.
It's a long time, and then he's like, well shit, Zod's here, we gotta, maybe there's Batman, we gotta find Batman. So they go to Wayne Manor, they just walk in like
Hello.
like whatever, so they just walk in and they just they get to a kitchen and they meet a guy who has like a disheveled beard and long ass hair, and it's Michael Keaton Batman, and he's just sitting in the kitchen making spaghetti. Again, there's a lot of like pasta metaphors in this movie. Michael Keaton's Batman in this movie uses spaghetti to explain time travel and how it works. So he's like, so you got two strands of spaghetti, right? And if one strand of spaghetti is your timeline, then you go back in time in this midpoint in the spaghetti, and then it creates a diverging timeline. But the timeline that you created at the past it changed the past and the future, basically is what he says. So what
Mhm.
he's saying is like, how the fuck does Michael Keaton exist in this universe if Barry only went back like 20 years and not like 40? And
Yeah.
so he just explains like time is relative and it's linear, so it's gonna change the past and the future along
So
with
that
the present. Yeah.
explains why you're not Ben Affleck anymore, but
Right,
you're
right, right.
Michael
That explains why
Keaton.
Ben Affleck doesn't exist. Now, at this time, the friend that I was with, watching the movie, he was desperate because they don't outright say who he is. But he was dying to for Michael Keaton to play Thomas Wayne in this movie, and
Mm. No.
he's hoping for that because they don't mention him as being Bruce Wayne at all. He
Yeah.
never acknowledges Bruce Wayne at all. And there's like a photo that he looks at with his family, and he's like, "Oh, he's looking at Bruce and Martha." And I'm like, "No, dude, he's literally thinking about his parents." And
You
then,
think these people like comics? They
yeah,
don't fucking
you
care
think
about
these people
comics.
care? Like,
It's
they
just
don't
a
give a
fucking
shit.
paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, then Batman suits up, whatever, and then they have to go to Barry. Prime Barry uses the back computer, finds out that there is no Superman, but a Superwoman exists
Mm.
in Russia, in a Russian camp. So they go all the way to Russia to
Yeah.
break her out of this Russian prison. And they do that. Then the Supergirl, she gets the yellow sun emitters, whatever, and she has her
Yeah.
powers. Doesn't really take much time to get adjust to her powers. She just kind of like already knows how to use them.
Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Does she have a Russian accent, or is she just
no,
like,
but I was hoping
yeah,
for that. I was hoping for that because I thought they were gonna do something like Red Sun, where it's just like
yeah,
Russian Superman. Like I wish they would have done that. That would have been so funny.
they're lazy.
But I think also in the comics, when Kara is shipped off from Krypton, she's already like a 12-year-old or something. So
Is it supposed to be Kara, or is it supposed to
yeah,
be
no,
like?
it's Kara. She literally calls herself Kara Zor-El. Yeah.
Nah,
So
I guess Clark died.
yeah, so I'm gonna get to that. So basically,
Okay.
so then once they meet together, whatever, they suit up. Then the Prime Barry, finally gets his powers back, just like how he did in the Flashpoint,
Yeah.
shit. And then they have to go fight Zod. So then they go to like this barren desert, literally
Mm.
no fucking mountains, no terrain. It's just
like Dragon Ball.
it's worse than Dragon Ball. It's just like fucking when you start like a flat world in Minecraft, it's exactly
Yeah.
what it looks like. It's just flat.
Okay.
It's fucking flat. Um
Great.
and then at this point, this is when the movie's VFX budget really shows. Everything looks like a Blur Studios PlayStation 2 rendering.
Awesome.
Yeah, where everything just looks super rubbery and all this shit. And basically, so they go fight Zod, and even though
Yeah.
Zod and his crew are wearing like those suits and they're not supposed to be like, super powerful or have all their powers in that suit,
Yeah.
they're still having trouble with him, and all this shit. And even Kara, who's like absorbing the sun, has all these fucking extra superpowers. Like she's still getting her ass kicked. Anyways, Kara and Batman die.
What?
They just die. So how Batman dies is really funny. So Batman, he kind of just he gets attacked by the fucking big guy. He attacks his ship, and then Batman gets like beaten up, and then his ship is going down. So he's like, I'm gonna give the sacrifice play, and I'm gonna launch myself into their ship and try to blow up, everybody in it and their ship, their whole arms forces, right? So Batman suicide bombs into the ship, does nothing. The ship had a cloak on it, so like it has an overshield. So Batman just died, and the ship's fine.
You would think of how much they were promoting fucking Michael Keaton Batman, they would have him as like a secondary main character or something.
Yeah.
Guess not.
Yeah, they don't really do much with his character in this movie. He's just there to sell tickets, and by the looks of it, Jacob, he's not selling much, and I'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so then Kara, she dies, whatever, and then young Barry's like,
How did she die?
so she dies basically. She's going hand to hand with Zod, and then she's like, "Where's my cousin? What'd you do with my cousin?" And Zod's like, "Well, you know the fucking skull shit they had in Man of Steel that like was absorbed into Kal-El, Jor-El's. Okay, so basically, in Man of Steel, it doesn't fucking matter. Man of Steel, to summarize it, it had like the essence of all of Krypton's DNA to like Krypton's DNA basically to bring
remember,
to morph Earth into Krypton like he was
yeah.
gonna do in Man of Steel. All of that data is in Clark's DNA, is in Superman's DNA. So in order to extract it, you have to kill the person, right?
Yeah.
So Zod is like, yeah, we tried to we thought it was in Kal-El. It wasn't. The infant died. So he just killed a baby. And I was like, that is badass. Like that is exactly what an evil maniacal piece of shit like Zod would do. So I was like, hey, that's the best part of the movie, that he killed a baby. And then Kara like freaks out and then she gets stabbed. That's it. And so they don't do a lot with Michael Shannon's Zod, and he's even said in like press recently that he's like, yeah, that was fucking boring. He was like, it's so boring to just sit in front of a green screen and just fucking like say lines. But yeah, so then young Barry, he's like, what, they died? Oh, we gotta go back in time, Barry, and fix this. So then young Barry or Prime Barry's like, no, you dumbass, we can't. This is how this universe ends. They are supposed to die. There's no way we can fix it. And he's like, well, we have to try. So then he goes back in time multiple times.
But Prime Barry doesn't have the powers though, so he just dies.
No, they both have powers at this point.
When
he
did
got
they...
the powers back? I told you he got the powers back.
I don't remember.
Okay, so yeah, just assume they both have powers. Prime Barry watches younger Barry as he goes back in time and tries to save them, but he can't. Literally, one of the timelines that he goes back in time and tries to save them from, Batman's about to suicide bomb, and then he's like, Barry's like, Batman, no, it's got a fucking shield on it. And he's like, he just goes, okay, and he just flies.
He flies away.
He literally, I swear to God, hit the line that he replies with is okay, and then just flies.
All right, Michael, this
just
is
pulls
like.
up. And then he dies more heroically by like he like tries to fight a Kryptonian man to man. He's like jumping on his back and putting bombs on him and shit.
That's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, well, you know, he looked badass while doing it, and then he died, and then when he dies, the Kryptonian just comes back, just like rises up and like yeah, so like it didn't matter. But yeah, so basically, yeah, that universe, inevitably those characters are meant to die. It's basically meant to get terraformed by the Kryptonians.
Zod.
Yeah, by Zod. Yeah. And so, but younger Barry, you know, this is like the climactic, like third act, you know, climax resolution moment where younger Barry's like, "You're just gonna give up on Mom? I'm not gonna lose her, you know, like whatever." And he's like, "There's just nothing we can do." And then like out of nowhere, the demon guy comes back from the beginning, and he's like beating the shit out of Prime Barry or whatever. And like as this is happening, I forget if it's young Barry or the demon, but somebody's doing so. I think when he's attacking Prime Barry, all the universes around them are starting to collapse, and so you get a glimpse into different universes. So one of them is you got Adam West's Batman, CGI'd Adam West Batman, and then you also have Christopher Reeve's Superman, CGI'd, but he looks like worse than Superman versus the Hulk. If you've ever seen that YouTube series,
no, I don't know.
Yeah, it's rough. And they're just standing there watching their universe fucking die. Pretty much. But there was a really funny part, where they show Nicolas Cage's Superman fighting a giant alien spider.
That's awesome.
And that was badass. I was like,
he's like, great Scott.
Yeah, but he was CGI, and I was like, I really wished that they actually got Nicolas Cage to do it, because he would have done it. He would have been like, I've always saw myself as a Kryptonian. You know, like I honestly think that Nicolas Cage just honestly thinks he's a Kryptonian. He probably thinks he's an alien. Just
They might as well just hire him as Superman.
dude, he would play an awesome Superman or like Zod, or honestly, I'd like to see him play Brainiac. I think that'd be fucking hilarious. But yeah, so basically all these universes are dying around him. Then it's revealed that the demon is actually younger Barry, but he's done so many of these like going back in time trying to save the universe that it's turned him morbid. Morbid time. And so
I'm evil now.
yeah, pretty much. But then he's good at the very like it was very quick, like just a sudden like
Stop killing people. All right.
Yeah, pretty much. So then Prime Barry then goes back in time to try to fix everything. He has to let his mom die. So he goes back into the supermarket and just takes the tomato can out of his fucking mom's cart.
He's crying, goodbye, Mom.
Yeah. And then he has like a heart-to-heart with his mom, like in the shopping mall, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "No." Can I get some of that tomato soup? But yeah, and then he goes back into the present time, and he's at the court hearing for his dad again. But then it's revealed that the CCTV footage from 20 years ago, it shows his face this time because Barry in the past messed with time, and instead of having the tomato cans on the bottom shelf, he has them on the top shelf, so he has to reach up and look for them. So he's looking at the camera, so he confirms his alibi. So the Flash doesn't really learn anything about changing time.
That still changes the time.
He just changes it again. But yeah, and then the very end is the best part. The Flash is walking out of the court hearing. He confirms a date with Iris, and then he gets a call from Bruce Wayne. And then Bruce Wayne just pulls up out of his limo and starts to greet Barry. And Barry just goes, "Who the fuck are you?" And it cuts to George Clooney's Batman.
What? Yeah. That's awesome.
That was my second favorite part of the whole movie. Now, my favorite part of the movie was the post-credit scene.
What was the post-credit scene?
Okay, so let me set this up. So for people who didn't give a fuck to stay, who've seen this movie and didn't give a fuck to stay to the end credits, let me just tell you what you missed. So the credits took like 10 to 15 minutes to go through because there were a lot of fucking people that worked on this movie. So all the credits were sitting probably like me and a group of like 10 people are sitting. Our theater was fucking empty, by the way. There was only like 20 people that watched the movie when we watched it.
That's awesome.
But anyway, so there's like 10 of us in there. We're all waiting for this post-credit scene, and my friend's sitting next to me. He's like, "I know what it is. It's nothing important." And I was like, "Well, what is it?" And he's like, "I don't know, but I just know it's not important." And I was like, "Okay."
Okay.
I was like, "Okay." So then so we watch it, and to my surprise, it's the greatest moment in the whole movie. It's just a scene with Barry and Jason Momoa's Aquaman. They're just walking out of a pub, and Barry's like, "Dude, you know I can't get drunk. Like I just have a super fast metabolism. I can't get drunk." And then Aquaman's just like, "Yeah, kid, it's good." Like he's just fucking blasted. And then he just falls into a puddle. That's right in front where he's sitting, and he just starts sleeping there. And he's just like, "I'm the king of Atlantis," and he's just fucking drunk as shit. I don't know what he was doing with his voice because I thought it was like another alternate timeline because he sounded completely different from like his normal self. He was speaking in like a higher octave or whatever. But then Barry just walks past and like goes to open with the keys to his apartment and just walks in, and that's the end. And I swear to God, I was the only one that laughed as I saw like a group of 3 people right in front of us just get the fuck up and leave. Like with no emotion, no reaction. And that was the best part of the movie because in that moment I realized what the whole movie was about.
Family.
No. It was a joke on the audience. This whole fucking movie was a waste of time.
That's why they kept it
And
for
that's
so
why
long.
the ending was the way it was, because it's a metaphor for the entire movie that it was a fucking waste of time, because this universe is dead. They're getting rid of it. They're rebooting it.
Yeah.
So why the fuck would you invest almost 3 hours of your life into this universe? It's done. It's gone. And so
Why did they?
that post-credit scene just was the icing on top of the cake for it. It was amazing.
You're, aren't they still making a sequel to the Aquaman movie?
Yeah, so basically, apparently how it's gonna go is that Blue Beetle movie is the
Yeah.
first of this new universe,
Mm.
and then the Aquaman movie, because they're doing an Aquaman movie that still has yet to come out. I have no fucking clue. I think
I'm gonna look it up.
I think it's just gonna be just like this, where it's like, well, this doesn't matter anymore. But yeah,
Aquaman and the Last Kingdom is coming out December 20th of 2023.
yeah.
Ben Affleck's in it.
Yeah, I also opening weekend for this movie domestically was like 70
Yeah,
million.
really
It
bad.
was really
Yeah.
bad. Really bad. So yeah.
Blue Beetle will be out on August 18th.
Mm,
You know what? I hope the Blue Beetle movie it's I hope it's okay.
yeah,
That's all I could say.
I just don't care.
I don't care as
I just
well,
don't
but
care.
you know what? I hope it's a great movie.
Sure.
I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. But no, I just think like this whole movie was like a big epiphany for me. I was like, yeah, we really made a mistake when we said to corporate execs that we were like, yeah, we like multiverse. We fuck with multiverse. like the moment that that idea was spawned, like, oh, we can do multiverse stuff now. I feel like that was when we made a big mistake, and a lot of these movies just started being nothing and just
Zachary,
completely fan service based.
Zachary, it's okay because Craven the Hunter movie comes out
Yeah,
October 6th.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody be excited for the Craven the Hunter movie.
Yeah, can't wait for that. Also, I think if they're gonna reboot the Flash, they should still keep Ezra Miller, but make him Reverse Flash. I think he's like great for that. He's already putting in a lot of method acting work there, so we should definitely do that. But yeah, thinking about all this controversy in recent years about Hollywood really gave me a great idea for a pitch for a new movie that I want to make.
They would take it immediately.
I know you want to hear what it is. I think it's golden. It's a golden pitch. Like it's a golden goose pitch.
What is that?
Basically, it's about this person who is a rising star in Hollywood. They're getting a lot of gigs, a lot of notoriety. Like everybody loves them. You know, they're adored by the public.
Yeah.
But they have a secret, and that secret is they like to eat people. And so, eventually it's found out, revealed to the public that they are a cannibal. And the person's like, my career's ruined. Everybody hates me now. And then they're like, the entire industry, like his manager is like, dude, just lie low for a little bit. Everybody will forget about it, and you'll come back and you'll have your big break. And then so he just he waits around for a little bit, and then he comes back, and he makes his final movie, his final stand to bring himself back and make a career comeback. And then everybody that he's working with is like kind of like tense because they're like, is this dude gonna fucking eat us? And then maybe he'll have a little nibble on a finger during a test shoot. But then the movie comes out and everybody loves him again. And then the movie ends. And so, in a triumphant return of this actor. And I want Armie Hammer to play the manager, not the person, but the manager of the guy.
What's his latest movie he's doing?
Armie Hammer?
Yeah,
He's done, dude. He's a recluse, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's made anything recently.
Nah, come back, Armie Hammer. We need another crappy movie from you.
We need a cannibal.
We need another Lone Ranger.
The thing is that he's not a leading man. He's just like a frat guy or like a jockey piece of shit. You know, he's either like he's in Call Me by Your Name, and then he's like
He's been working as a timeshare salesman.
what?
It says for a few years now, Hammer has been staying in the Cayman Islands where his children, with his ex-wife Elizabeth Chambers, also reside. While there are rumors that the actor has since taken a job as a concierge in the islands. Hammer actually has been busy working as a timeshare salesman. How the
Wow.
mighty have fallen.
Wow.
He's been thinking about doing another career move after undergoing treatment himself. He believes he would make a good job, a good sober companion for other people who have just completed rehab.
Oh, okay, good. So wait, so his thing is that he went to rehab. He rehabilitated himself to not like to eat people.
I guess. As for acting, Hammer doesn't see the possibility of making a return for now. No one also acknowledges that no one will cast him at the moment. No one will ensure me the actor continue.
They need to
I can't
make
get
they need to
bonded
make
for
a
fucking
they
nothing.
need to make the ultimate cancellation movie. Like make a comeback for all these actors that have been canceled. Bring back Armie Hammer, Kevin Spacey, Mel Gibson, and Ezra Miller. Dude, that would be a fucking insane movie. Like, and have R. Harvey Weinstein produce it. That would be a crazy movie.
God damn. He really lost a lot. That's insane.
Jacob, don't get depressed by looking at Armie Hammer. He's a cannibal.
But he was so great in The Lone Ranger.
I loved him
I
in
loved him
Man from
the
Uncle.
I loved him from Man from Uncle. And then
In the
Timothy
Winklevoss twins in Social
and then
Network.
and then Timothy Chalamet played Armie Hammer.
Yeah. Timothy Chalamet. He
Oh
actually.
wow, Taylor Russell, the Timothy Chalamet's partner in The Bones and All.
Yeah.
She was in Escape Room.
Yeah, she was.
She's in both escape rooms. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
They go from like they go from she was in like a very indie, very gory, dramatic movie, I'm assuming it is,
Mm.
to Escape Room.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they can't all be
Oh,
hitters,
no. Um yeah.
Oh, you got nothing? Okay, well, I'll just keep going.
It's Escape Room. What do you want me to say to talk about Escape Room?
You've just been looking at fucking the
I've
internet
I've
you've been looking at different actors' careers for like 2 minutes now, just barely saying anything. You just been like,
was
"Whoa, he's a timeshare now." Like,
listen, to go from a top leading actor for like a bunch of movies to a timeshare salesman leaves me with like nothing to say.
Yeah.
I think my words alone saying that he's a time. Imagine you're going. He comes to your fucking door and goes knock knock knock. Hi, Armie Hammer. I've been in movies. I'm a timeshare salesman.
"Hi,
That's
would you like
depressing.
to invest in some shares?"
Oh, you have some beautiful fingers.
Yes.
I mean, you have a beautiful house. I would never want to eat your fingers. I've gone to rehab. Yes, I have. I don't know how he sounds.
No, you're pretty close. It's pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much what he sounds
that
like.
was a shot in the dark.
No, it's
I'll be
pretty
honest
much what
with
he
you.
sounds like. Yeah, it's just like a kind of like a pretentious, suave asshole is what he sounds like. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess he's a pretentious suave ass.
he is. He loves asshole too, eating it, not just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even eat it. I don't know.
Jacob,
But,
why do you have fucking McDonald's bags on your bed? So disgusting.
So, I'm doing the podcast, so they can't be on my desk. Dumbass. You fucking idiot.
Oh god. Oh, fuck. Well, what else can we talk
Got
about? I just
you.
talked about the Flash for 30 minutes, so
God, how you talked about it felt like it was a 2-minute movie. I'm being dead
well,
ass.
I'm gonna
It
be
felt
honest.
like a 2-minute movie.
I'll be honest.
How long is it?
It's like fucking almost 3 hours, I think.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty long. It's like maybe a 2.5 hour movie.
It does not deserve to
No,
be.
it doesn't.
I gotta
it
look
doesn't.
this up. Flash. I'm so happy that I went to go watch a different superhero movie.
Yeah.
2 hours and 24 minutes,
Yep. There you go.
making it one of the longer recent DC films.
Mm.
It's really a shame.
It's just as long as the Batman.
Yeah. Shazam was probably the best DCEU movie.
Yeah,
The first
probably.
one.
Yeah. And then second, Zack Snyder's Justice League. That
Damn, even
4-hour epic.
the Suicide Squad that's in the DCU technically, I
No, that's
guess.
probably in the new one.
No, but Peacemaker meets Ezra Miller, Flash, and
But just redacted.
okay,
Redacted.
fair enough.
They'll probably edit that like 2 years down the line with new CGI and put a new actor in there.
Yeah,
But I mean we can touch on Across the Spider-Verse for a little bit because I haven't seen it, but I still haven't seen it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to watch it.
Fair enough.
Just because one, still just don't really care too much about superhero stuff anymore. At least right now in my life. Maybe one day I'll be rejuvenated and care about that stuff again. But right now, not in that place.
There's only like 2 movies I'll watch
Mhm.
that have superheroes at the moment. One is like when the Batman sequel happens. I'm gonna watch it just because I think.
Oh
it'll be a
yeah,
good
I'm gonna
movie.
watch that for sure. Because
But,
those movies don't
yeah.
even they don't even
There's
really
something
feel
else.
yeah they don't even really
Yeah.
feel like superhero movies.
That's the problem. You gotta make it not feel like a superhero movie, maybe
yeah.
like a little bit. Like I don't know.
Because I just feel like when a movie is too much like a superhero movie, it gets way too engrossed in fan
you know
service.
you need to
and
watch.
I just don't care.
You know you need to watch
Hmm.
to cleanse your palate.
Hmm.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania
I thought
realm.
you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say
No,
like
I ain't gonna say
the 2005 Transformers movie, or not? Fucking Fantastic Four.
I think the Ant-Man. I remember I was not enjoying that movie.
But basically
What's
all
the runtime?
I want to say, it's probably around the same as Ezra Miller's Flash.
Yeah, 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Fucking fella.
All I want to say though is about the Across the Spider-Verse. Not having seen
Yeah.
it, I know a few things about it.
Yeah.
I know that Spider-Man 2099 is a
99.
racist. And
It's not racist.
those memes are crazy though.
Yeah.
But no, the main gripe that I had with it is that already going into it, I knew that it was gonna be like a two-parter, and from what I know, that the movie just fucking ends out of nowhere.
It ends with like the dramatic music like blaring in your ears, and it shows like Miles in a sticky situation. He stares at the bad guy, and the bad guy stares back at him.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to Miles, and then like maybe like a 5 seconds, then boom, done.
Yeah,
Credits.
yeah. That's just why I'm like, I'd rather just wait for the third one to come out so I get so I can watch it.
The resolution.
Because right now it's in like a Halo 2 scenario where the story, the third act is not there. So like, if I watch the movie now, I'm gonna have to wait 3 years for that third act of the story, or I could just wait for the third one to come out and then just watch the two back to back when it's on streaming.
I don't even know when I don't even think they've made any.
No, but it'll probably be released in the next 3 years, because the last one came out like 3 years ago. But yeah.
Beyond the Spider-Verse, they're promising 2024, March 29th.
Oh, woo! Yeah, don't have to wait that long.
Yeah.
It
was a good movie. It had the soundtrack was really good. Like the theme was really good.
Mm-hmm. I heard it was enjoyable. But I'm just like,
I liked it.
Yeah, I just like, I don't know.
Too many Spider-Man.
Yeah, too much Spider-Man going on. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah. No Madam Web, which is interesting.
Yeah, and I heard no Christian Daniel Barnes, the 90s Spider-Man voice actor. He's not even in the movie, which is a fucking shame. The fact that he was the first one that adapted that
I know. Oh, what are you talking about?
Spider-Verse on like television or any form of media besides the comics. Like his Spider-Man was the first one that did that, and they don't even have him like say a single word. They have Spectacular Spider-Man say, "You should kill them." but
Yeah,
they
I
don't
was about to
have
say, do
Christian
you
Daniel
remember?
Barnes. They don't have
Which is
Christian
so
Daniel
strange
Barnes.
because I don't think Spectacular Spider-Man would say
No,
that.
he wouldn't. He wouldn't say that.
He would not say, "Let them die,
Let them
Miles.
die.
Fuck it, let them die. Fuck
Unless
them kids."
unless unless it's an alternate universe one where his Gwen fucking died.
They show Captain Stacy dead in the Spectacular Spider-Man universe.
Oh, do they?
They show like a rows of
No,
like
I've
characters.
seen the scene. Yeah, I've seen the scene, but I didn't see that
They
part.
show I saw Spectacular Spider-Man. It's like Captain Stacy.
Mm.
No.
Yeah, because isn't there like a? It's like a. They have this bullshit thing where it's or not. It's just like dumb. Where it's like the canon event in their universe, where like the canon event in that universe is that
Captain. All the
Stacy
captains.
dies.
A captain must die,
Mm.
and then an uncle must die.
Yeah.
Uncle must die.
That's fucking crazy.
I mean, I know it's more just a fourth wall meta joke of like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, every character that's Spider-Man has to have this happen.
Yeah, every
yeah.
Spider-Man has to have a tragic backstory. No, nothing can just be like super clean cookie cutter.
Well, they show like the Spider-Man and pals, like the little tiny Spider-Man for like the kids' cartoons.
Yeah.
And like, damn, even his uncle died. God damn.
Yeah, they just show like Spider-Man and friends and just
Yeah.
like a bloody Uncle Ben on the street. Oh my god. Yeah, it was funny cuz I was talking to Bruce about this stuff like last night just a little bit, and he was like dude, one thing I'm not fucking with is the fact that people are saying that Andrew Garfield's The Amazing Spider-Man was good and that they still like it. And they're like, yeah, he's like, it was never good. Nobody said that. Why the fuck is the hype now?
I don't know, dog. I think because everybody just likes Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, everybody
so
just
they're
likes Andrew Garfield. It has nothing to do with the writing itself, because the writing is terrible objectively, but it's the fact that Andrew Garfield is the best actor of the three Spider-Men and is just a likable person. I'm sorry, he is, like, objectively he is. Like, he has a deeper range, a wider range of roles than the other two.
Hey, that's not. Look at Toby.
No, Toby's good. Toby's good, but Andrew's just shown to be a bit more. I always ride or die for my boy Toby, but yeah. And then Tom Holland literally has taken a year hiatus from acting because his last role drove him into his last role drove him into alcoholism. So he took a year from acting.
What?
Yeah.
Bro, what type of movie?
You didn't hear about this shit?
I didn't fucking hear.
So he's in like an Apple TV series, and like for that role, he's playing like this really fucked up character, and apparently it drove him into addiction. So he went to like fucking rehab after the role, and like, now he's taking a break from acting.
I feel bad for this man.
Yeah, I honestly think they shouldn't bring him back for Spider-Man.
They will.
No, I think they shouldn't though, because here's my thing. Here's my point.
Yeah, bring Timothy Chalamet. They look similar.
Yeah. Here's my point. No, they should just do Jake Gyllenhaal for Spider-Man, just like what they were gonna do in 2004. But the reason why they don't bring Tom Holland back is because he's gonna look the same age when he's supposed to be playing like a mid to late 20s Spider-Man. Because the dude is already 25 and he doesn't really look any different from when he was 18. And he's gonna be. He's going to be 5'7", 150 pounds, and he's just
27.
Yeah, he's just going to look like a child, I think if they were going to recast him for anybody, my vote is Jamie Bell. And the reason why I say that is because I watched him when I watched Snowpiercer like a couple weeks ago, and his like spunk, his tenacity, and his like his witty charm.
He's too old now, Zach.
No, dude, he could play a fucking 30-year-old like a college Spider-Man. Yes, he could. Don't fucking say he can't.
Okay. There's a difference between a 30-year-old Spider-Man and a college Spider-Man.
Jacob, do you understand?
40.
Jacob, do you understand that Tobey Maguire was playing an 18-year-old Spider-Man at 27 years old?
I believed it when I was 5. God damn it! I was like, damn, that's what high schoolers look like.
But can you believe it now? Can you believe it now that Tobey Maguire, 27-year-old Tobey Maguire, was playing a 19-year-old Spider-Man? Can you believe that now?
They put the glasses on him. I believe.
That's what I'm
it,
saying.
bro.
He has that youthful exuberance about him. So you could definitely put Jamie Bell to play like a 26-year-old like in college Spider-Man. You know?
It is crazy how the last good Spider-Man movie came out
Was not No Way Home.
Oh, when was Spider-Man 3?
Spider-Man 3 was 2007.
Wow, that was the last good Spider-Man.
Arguably true. Arguably true.
You know who I blame for all these bad movies is that one
Sam
fucking
Raimi.
asshole. Not Sam Raimi, the
Just
fucking
blame
asshole.
for everything. I know what you're
Who's
talking about. Avi, whatever his last name is. Avi
Fuck
Ahmed.
you, Avi. Get away. I hope you're 74. Just retire. Go away.
He's still producing these movies too.
Okay, here's the only good thing he's done lately. Like he put the Spot as the main villain. He went to the guys. He's like, "Can you guys make the Spot a villain?" And they're like, "All right." And it worked out well in the movie. He's a great villain.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he's done that's great. He has done a lot of bad things. He made Amazing Spider-Man a really bad movie and made the sequel really bad.
Yeah.
You know what? Put Neil Patrick Harris in as Spider-Man. Fuck it.
I'm gay, but I also shoot webs out of my ass. That's Neil Patrick.
Hey.
His Spider-Man was cool because he was the first Spider-Man that I saw that cursed. He was like, "Damn," and I was like, "Oh shit!" I got the box set from like 2005 when they had all the 10 episodes on a fucking DVD box set.
Oh, that's right. He did play the MTV Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't think he showed up in that fucking.
No, he fucking no way. Oh, he'll be in Beyond the Spider-Verse. Don't worry about it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, no way. No way.
Wow. You know when he first when I'm just thinking about Neil Patrick Harris because like in the 90s wasn't he like a very much like he played like the
in the 90s he played like a doctor, like a kid doctor, and then in the early to mid 2000s he played Barney on How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. You know, a lot of women were like, "God, I would love to be with that," and he's like, "I'm gay, guys."
Yeah. And then he plays. I always remember his role in Gone Girl. He just plays like a fucking incel nerd, and and then he gets stabbed.
Damn.
He gets stabbed by the woman that he's lusting after.
I mean, that's a pretty role just to put him in because that's a very different role for him to be.
What?
To be
like
incel.
An incel?
Yeah.
Well, he played the guy in the Smurfs movies.
Oh, of course. Everybody remembers the Smurfs, Neil Patrick Harris being incel, of course. Get the fuck out of here.
You don't remember that?
I remember
You don't remember the Smurfs movie where Smurfette was played by Katy Perry?
You think I want to?
The grumpy Smurf was played by George Lopez?
Shut the fuck up. Does it look like I will remember the fucking Smurfs movie, motherfucker?
Jacob, is a Smurf's butt blue?
Is a Smurf's butt blue? I'm gonna fuck. This is what I'm gonna do. A Smurf. I'm gonna eat it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll stir fry it. Fuck it. You think I fucking care? Stir fry.
Would you eat a Smurf?
No, because
he'd
be
like,
Smurf? Please don't hurt me. I'm like, get the fuck out of my house. Get out of here. You little freak.
They're just the size of a mushroom. Like,
bro, I'll put mouse traps around. I put like jelly or whatever. I heard, he's like,
dude, a little Smurf running around is like a.
Does it bleed red or does it bleed blue? Because like if I heard it and it's like bleeding,
it'll bleed like purple. It'll bleed purple.
If it is oozing a dark red, I'm gonna feel uncomfortable. Like going like, I'm sorry.
You just gotta gut it like a fish.
You gotta do the whole like people do with rats where they put it in a trash bag and
yeah,
they swing it around a hard wall.
I feel like if you set around like mouse traps for Smurfs to run over, I think it'd be like that like ancient 2006 video of the the rat like doing bench presses with the mousetrap. You remember that fucking video? Just set to Eye of the Tiger. You know what I'm talking
That's
about?
a horrific video.
Yeah, and
I
then he
hate
just
that
dies
shit.
at the end. That
I
video was
know.
fucking crazy.
I hate
I
that.
remember when I first saw that as a kid, I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. I didn't even understand how they could do that. I was like, what the fuck? How's that rat doing
Whoa.
that?
How is this rat?
I
This
gotta
is a
get my
real
ass in the
rat,
gym.
bro. I gotta show a rat this. I need a rat to start doing this shit.
If you guys know what we're talking about, I mean, props to you. If you don't, you're probably too fucking young.
You don't really need to see it.
No, you do. It's so good.
Such a bad video.
It's
It's
so
so
good.
ugly. It's ugly.
No, dude, it's just like a normal rat in a fucking mousetrap.
Um. Any new video games that intrigued you, Zachary? I know that's gonna be a big no, but I just wanted to hear your answer. Big no. Any video games, Zachary, that you just love to see? Halo Infinite.
No. I've been playing more Halo 2.
Wow. Big shocker. Put the wow, wow, wow. Red alert, red alert. Zachary loving Halo 2 again
Yep.
for the 100th time.
No, we should play a video game together.
Yeah, I agree.
Bakugan.
Not playing Bakugan.
Bakugan, the final
All I've been
stand.
playing is Ready or Not, that SWAT game. And that's all I've been playing.
Don't care, dude.
I know you don't fucking care, because all you care about is hearing Master
Double
Chief
kill.
go. Is that you? All you care about is Master Chief going, I need to suck the cock.
You gotta
He's also
admit
played
though.
by-
You gotta admit though. My fucking like MLG clips that I've been sending in. the
Yeah, they're
MLG
pretty good.
Yeah, they're good. I'm gonna
They're
start
good.
I'm gonna start a channel where I just This is actually a small passion project of mine that I've been developing recently and like secretly. I'm gonna develop a, you know those like internet fucking what are they called, like not like creepypastas, but like where like channels are dedicated to like telling like a cryptic story or whatever from like in a game like Gary's
ARG?
Mod. Yeah, like ARG. Yeah.
Yeah, analog horror type
Yeah.
of stuff.
So I'm gonna do kind of like my own thing where it's gonna be that,
Zachary,
but
I promise you,
in-
you will make millions of views if you do that of Halo 2.
I know I'm gonna do that, but with like Halo.
Yeah.
And it's gonna start out as like a normal like dumbass like I'm gonna set it up the channel as like an archive channel for like this old obscure machinima that no one's heard of.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be my machinima that I'm just making now, but it's gonna be archived, like look to be like archived from like 10 years ago.
There
And
was
then,
some.
and
I
then
remember watching some
eventually it'll
video.
be
Eventually it'll be twisted. There was some video. It's probably maybe you've heard that. I don't know. It was something about. It was a Halo 2 multiplayer map. I was watching it. It was like a anime. It wasn't anime, but it was like It was by a guy that does like animation, like blends in Halo animation.
Yeah.
He was doing it on 2, I think, and it was like something about like a haunted player. I can see like it was like a neat to watch because it was like ghost player. The Ghost of Lockouts. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
I'll send the video for you.
No,
to
I've seen
watch.
that before. That's actually like that's like a real thing, yeah, that someone's done to it was like a myth amongst the Halo community like years ago.
Yeah.
And then it was like just proved to be debunked. Like it was just fucking
Yeah, no shit, it wasn't real. You think Bungie gave a shit? You think Bungie went, alright, there's one multiplayer map. We're gonna
Yeah.
put a
That's
ghost
fucking
in it."
ancient though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
But I
now-
saw something about it.
Yeah, now that we're talking about this and like we jumped off the topic of like
Does it really matter?
recent media.
Does it really matter?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We're just talking amongst
Anyways,
ourselves.
back to Euphoria.
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah. Yeah, I've been adding on to my my movie list recently again.
Good.
Watching movies.
Yeah.
I've probably watched like watched like 10 movies in
God
the past
damn.
week. Yeah. I watched Primer, which was like
I've heard of Primer. I think.
yeah, it's an indie darling, created by this enigma of a guy, and and then he also made this his follow-up feature in like 2013 that was like very experimental sci-fi called
Mm-hmm.
Upstream Color. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they're both really interesting movies to
Yeah.
dissect and kind of like figure out. But I think you would like Primer much more than Upstream Color. Upstream Color is a lot more experimental, and you probably just would be like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like,
So you have two categories. You have the Zachary movies and you have the Bruce movies.
yeah. Wait, which one's which?
Primer would probably be a Zachary movie, and then the other one's probably a Bruce movie.
A vibe movie.
Yeah.
I don't even think Bruce would like Upstream Color,
Yeah.
because Bruce is more like his taste in movies is very um he's all about the vibe, but his I don't know, he strikes me as somebody that likes to talk about movies and the philosophy in them, but is kind of just like, yeah, well, it's a movie. Less so for Ashton though.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, yeah. It's really really interesting to kind of regret it. So I watched his movies because I know he's an indie guy. So I was like, oh well, I'll give him my money. So
Hmm.
I'll buy it on YouTube. And I bought both the movies on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I find out some drama that he's involved in.
Oh,
He's not a good person. uh,
the director of Primer?
yeah.
Shane
He got a
Taylor?
restraining order put on him against his wife for mental and physical like abuse. She felt that her life was being threatened by him, so she put a
Yeah.
restraining order against him. And then in 2022, he was charged with allegations of assault and harassment of one of his ex-girlfriends. So he's just like a very fucked up, like mentally individual, which is kind of what you got to be for to be like a creative genius. You have to be
Oh,
you
of
have to
course,
have
you
a
have to be a.
you have to have a troubled mind, and you have to be a piece of shit. Just look at Ezra Miller.
I don't think so.
But yeah,
No, that's not how that works.
good movies though.
Hey, wait a minute.
So I watched those movies. Then I watched No Country for Old Men and Fargo. I watched that double
I
feature.
love, I
Yeah.
love No Country for Old Men.
I think you'd like Fargo even better.
I probably would.
Fargo is so goddamn funny.
All I know
It's so
all I know
goddamn
about
funny.
Fargo is that the Milwaukee accents.
Yes,
They go, oh,
yes.
geez, oh.
It was like, and it makes so much sense because the Coen brothers, they were Minnesota citizens.
Yeah.
They were born in Minnesota, so they know all about that fucking northern strange funny accent. And so everybody just speaks in that accent in the movie. It's so goddamn funny. But I thought like watching those was a really good dual pairing because they have like opposing themes in those movies. And I really like both of those. I also like how No Country for Old Men really has like no score. I think there's a score in the beginning and that's it. Like the rest of the movie is pretty much just
Yeah.
with sound design. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna summarize this because we're already at an hour and I don't want to fucking keep going. Then I watched The House That Jack Built.
Yeah.
Don't know if
Isn't
you've
that
seen it.
a? It sounds familiar. I know it's. You basically said it was a. I always thought it was like a horror movie from what it was.
No, it's like a thriller, psychological thriller kind of. It follows this guy named Jack who just is a serial killer that murders women.
Mm.
And that's why I was like, it's the ultimate Matt movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's just a narcissistic, OCD psychopath
Yeah.
who just kills and murders women. He's an engineer, but he also strives to be an architect because he has a liking to art. Like he just enjoys art, and he's a very like pretentious individual. So he likes to
Yeah.
think of himself because he's a narcissist. He likes to think of himself as more intelligent than anyone else, and that's
Hmm.
kind of why he kills all the women because they're all just all his victims he believes themselves to be dumber than him. But I will say this though, the first woman he kills in the movie, she was kind of asking for it. It was Uma Thurman's character, and she gets a flat tire in the beginning, and she's like, "Oh, can you drive me to the auto station so I can fix my jack?" And he's
that's her cameo, Uma Thurman.
Yeah, she's in the beginning, and I was kind of like, why the fuck is she? Like, you'd think if you got like a big actor like Uma Thurman, you'd put her like maybe in the middle of the movie, not the very beginning.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, it worked. It was a good scene. But yeah, her character was kind of asking for it. But besides that, everybody else was just kind of like, he just killed them for like really no reason, and other than he just thought himself as a superior.
Does he Does he die from like the police or something? He get arrested?
Yeah, so he gets arrested in the end, trying to make like because there's like a side plot in the story where he's like building his house.
Exactly. That's the title of the movie.
I know, but it's like a side thing.
Oh, that's the side thing.
Yeah. The main thing is he's killing all the women, right? But the side
anyways,
thing,
back to my side
no, it's
thing,
literally
my
like
house.
that. So there's a it's a dual narration that's like following along in the movie, and it's like it's the main character Jack, and he's talking to this guy named Virgil in like a black void, and he's just basically, it kind of sounds like
Virgil's isn't Virgil angelic or
yeah, Jacob, just stop fucking slowing my roll, all right? You just fucking interrupting me to like interject with some bullshit. Yes, he's angelic. He's a fucking demonic figure, all right? He's anyways, so he's having like a therapy session with Jack, trying to like understand
therapy.
him. Yeah, shut the fuck up. He's just like to Jack, he's like, "You're a fucking sick individual, aren't you?" And he's just like, "Yeah, so what?" Yeah.
Nicolas Cage could play this guy.
Yeah. No, the guy, like I said, I love this actor. Matt Dillon, the guy who's in he's the private investigator in fucking There's Something About Mary. He's that guy.
Oh.
It's the same guy.
Oh.
It's the same guy.
That's that guy?
Yeah, it's the same guy. Yeah.
What the fuck?
He's awesome. I love him. I wish he was in more stuff.
That's insane.
But yeah, so basically so the whole movie's narrated with their like therapy session, and then the side plot with him building his fucking house, and he can't just seem to get it right because he's an engineer, he's not an architect, so it's like art for him. So then the very end of the movie, it's like he gets caught by the police, but he in his mind, it's probably in his mind, he builds a house out of all the dead corpses that he's collected over the years. And then he falls into a pit, basically just metaphorically sending him to hell. And then there's like a shot when they're like going into hell, and it's just like they're doing cave diving, like they're just in a cave, submerged underwater.
What?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? So Lars von Trier is the director. He's like notorious for making like kind of like very interesting.
Is he French?
Probably.
Oh, it's Danish.
Yeah, he's notorious for making very like interesting and like artistic and like philosophical stuff that can kind of like just be very indulgent for the sake of it. But a lot of his stuff is like there's a level of competency and actually merit. Like I really enjoyed this movie for the most part. So then he gets sent to hell. And he's in his own personal hell, and then he tries to escape, but then he falls deeper into hell and he dies, and that's the end. Yeah, good movie though. I think you'd like it.
I probably would. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, you'd definitely be like, Jesus. That would be your reaction.
Jesus Christ! They did that. They showed that on the TV. They did that.
And then I continued my quest to finish watching all the rest of the David Lynch's movies that I haven't seen yet. So I watched The Game. I watched that first. It's kind of like The Game with Michael Douglas, 1997. It was made in between Seven and Fight Club. It was a all right movie. It's like the style of movie that it is definitely an homage to the Man on the Run type of movies, like North by Northwest and by Hitchcock and like Fugitive. It feels very Hitchcockian in a lot of ways. I just didn't really like it. I felt the pacing was very kind of slow, and I just kind of was like, all right, I get it. There's a twist every so often, like every scene. There's a twist that leads in more and more. Like, what the fuck is going on? So I was just kind of getting bored of it until at the end. It kind of just felt like it was going on for way too long. But I will say this though, Michael Douglas in the role, perfect casting, because he's the type of guy. He doesn't play like the stereotypical action hero. He's just like a normal dude. So like the fact that he's just this corporate business exec that's just like kind of soulless, and he's just like a guy that just doesn't want to be fucked with. Like, it just makes him perfect for this kind of role. So I would say it was good. It was good on the film's part for casting him. But then I moved on to Panic Room, which was the thriller that David Fincher made after Fight Club in like 2002, starring Jodie Foster and a young Kristen Stewart. As she's they get a new house, and they go into like a panic room, and they're being pursued by three guys, Forrest Whitaker and Jared Leto and some other guy named Raul. Fucking good movie. I genuinely liked that movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't know if maybe I'll get in the mood to watch it again. But I feel like these movies that I've watched recently aren't really the types of David Fincher movies that I'll just be like, yeah, I want to put that on and just like watch it again. Like Zodiac, Social Network, Gone Girl, Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. Those are movies that I can watch repeatedly, like without taking a break. Like, I just keep watching those, no problem. They're just like, I don't know, something about the quality of the filmmaking just makes me want to continue to watch it no matter how many times, and it will never get old. And then today, I watched two movies. Well, one and a half. I watched The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which
does that hold up? I don't.
Yeah. So I mean, some of it. I will say this. It looks better than the Flash movie.
Well, yeah, because they actually made it. All I remember is like majority of the movie. I just remember it being like dark. That's all I remember.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, one, yeah, obviously they got to make it dark so they can kind of obscure the low res CGI that isn't up to par yet.
Yeah.
But the darkness also comes with like a story significance. Like the movie, I when I was watching it, I was likening it to like Forrest Gump, but if Forrest Gump was just way more depressing. Because the movie itself is very like bittersweet, kind of. It's a more intimate and depressive, philosophical story than Forrest Gump. Whereas Forrest Gump's more of like a lighthearted romp through this guy's life, where he's affecting a bunch of people around him.
There's depressing things that happen, but
Right,
it doesn't affect Forrest that much.
Right. Literally, Benjamin in this movie hit the theme of the movie is that life is a bunch of fleeting moments that never last. So when you're in those moments, cherish them and don't let them go. And that is the theme of the entire movie. It's why Benjamin just keeps, while everyone's growing older, he keeps getting younger. And so it's just like, everything's constantly changing around him. People that he has known his whole life are dying or like leaving his life, and it's just fucking sad. It's like, it was a good movie. I just find it like, if I'm gonna watch a movie that's like that, I'm gonna watch Forrest Gump, just because I don't want to like. It's just a lot. Like, that movie is just way too depressive, to want to watch it constantly, Whereas with Forrest Gump, I can just like turn this on and like, I'm Forrest Gump. I mow the lawn and I run.
I mow the lawn, run. That's it. And then Benjamin Button's like, I was born yesterday, but I'm 78.
Oh, like, dude, like he leaves. He has a kid with the love of his life, and then he's like,
Really?
Yeah, and then he's like, I gotta leave. He's like, I gotta go because it's not right for me to expect you to raise both of us. And I was like, damn. I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
Brad Pitt's like, listen, I'm sorry. I'm about to turn into a baby in a few years. This
Yeah.
ain't gonna work out.
Right, right. But the moment Brad Pitt's character buys a motorcycle,
Yeah.
badass.
That's your
Because
dad.
because that man, Brad Pitt just looks
Yeah.
good riding a motorcycle. There's like only a few people that just look that cool riding a
They don't look
motorcycle.
like assholes. They look cool.
Right, they just look
Those are the
badass.
few.
Right, and then
Mhm.
yeah, good movie though. And then I tried watching Mank, and I watched it for like an hour and just turned it off. It
It
was so
wasn't that
fucking.
good.
It was just fucking boring. Like it was so boring. Like
That's his latest movie.
yeah, like I get it. It's like it was a script from his dad, and his dad passed away,
Oh.
so he wanted to adapt this script about an
Damn.
untold story, and like
Yeah.
and I can appreciate the artistry, like the fact that the entire movie is meant to look like a movie that came out from the 1940s. Like it looks and it sounds like it. Like the audio is compressed to sound like a 1940s era Hollywood movie, and then the visuals, they're like super accurate, lighting and softness and film grain, like all that stuff is great. It looks great. It's a great looking movie. um,
Yeah.
but I just could not get engaged. Like I was sitting there for an hour and I'm like, it's just boring. Like I was just constantly like drifting. Like normally when I'm watching a movie, I don't look at my phone. I was like looking at my phone constantly throughout this movie. I was like,
Damn.
I'm just so bored. And so I just once I hit the hour mark, I was like, are you gonna hook me? Are you gonna hook me? Nope. Because it's just some guy who, like, the way they pace the movie is they go as he's writing Citizen Kane, and then they go, oh, flashback. Let's just give some context for Mank and how he's kind of a drunken piece of shit. And that's it. That's the pacing. It's like, oh, he's writing, now flashback to give context for his character, and then writing, and then more character stuff. It's just kind of boring. Like it's really boring. I'm sorry. Like I wanted to like it. But it was boring. But it sounds like David Fincher is going back to his bread and butter, which is serial crime thrillers with the
Which are
killers.
great. Yeah.
That is going to be coming out, I think, maybe probably next year. So I'm looking forward to that. He's always really good with that kind of stuff. Just like dramatic thriller type stuff, whether it's political or whatever, because House of Cards was good.
Yeah.
Just thought Mank was boring. Sorry, Jack Fincher. You just made a boring screenplay. I'm sorry.
David Fincher knew it was bad, but he's like,
It's my
gotta do
dad.
this.
It's my dad.
Listen. You would do the same. I know if your dad came up to you, he's like, listen, son, here's a screenplay. I'm gonna die in like the next hour. Do you mind, please? And he dies.
No,
You're like,
I'd write it better if it was bad.
oh, Dad, this shit it specifically says in the will, Zachary, please
Don't rewrite it.
This is perfect. Zachary, please do not rewrite it.
This is
You're like,
exactly how I want it
"Fuck,
to be. This is exactly how I want it to be.
I'm looking down at you on heaven, Zachary. You better not fucking change my script." He's like, fuck. This is such dog shit. Oh,
Oh man.
I need these specific actors too.
Guy that played Orson Welles was good though.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orson Welles.
He's the villain in the movie, which is cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Like whenever he talks to Mank, it's always like with a sinister tone and like music swells. So it's like he's clearly the villain. Because the reason why he's the villain is because he never got credit for the everybody
Really?
always
Oh yeah.
like
'cause
gives
everybody
Orson
assumes
Welles
it's
the credit
Welles.
for
He
Citizen
directed
Kane.
it, but he didn't write it.
Yeah, he didn't write it.
Damn, that's crazy.
But yeah. So that's the story of Mank. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the Pain in the Brain podcast movie hour.
Movie talk, as
Um,
always.
Yeah. That's all me and Jacob ever talk about. It's the only thing we have in common.
That's the only thing we can talk about now. We
Yeah.
hate each other personally in the background.
Literally don't ever talk to this man in my entire life, just for this hour.
Yeah.
And that's his fault. That's his fault.
It
He
is
knows
my
it.
fault. It is
Um,
my fault.
but anyway,
I'm
guys,
sorry.
thank you all for listening to this week's episode of the Pain in the Brain podcast. Jacob, where can they find this podcast and listen to it, and wherever they want to enjoy it?
They can find it. They can find. They can find it on the Halo 2 multiplayer maps and the DLC maps. They can also find us on at the McDonald's down the road on the right side, past the stoplight. You can find us there as well.
Okay, yeah, you find us right down at the McDonald's.
We're just chit chatting.
We'll be talking about movies. Come in if you wanna hear us talk about movies while
Our 25 views,
we
our
make
25
burgers.
viewers. Burger.
But yep, thank you for listening, and don't
Thank
forget to take your
you.
meds.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Depression the second it stops recording.
God, dude, don't talk to me.